Today I'll go over the predominant strategy of late surgers, which is gambling. Unlike the other styles, late surgers don't have any consistent sources of acceleration. This remains the case for quite a while, up until the release of Chris S in the middle of Scenario 4. With nothing consistent available to them, they gamble on inconsistent skills instead. Let's look at mile distance, since that's what the next champions meeting will be. The gambling skills here are Furious Feet and On Your Left. They activate at a random point during the final leg. The closer to the start of it they activate, the better. If we run 100 attempts in the Uma later, we can see the minimum gain is quite low. That's when it triggers too late. The maximum is 7 lengths, which is when it triggers almost immediately. The average is around 3. That maximum is what we care the most about, but it only happens around 10% of the time. To increase the chances, we can take both gambling skills, then we only need one of them to trigger early. This basically doubles the chance, going from 1 in 8 races to 1 in 4 to gain 6 or more lengths. Those are obvious gambling skills, they activate randomly like these. But there are also implicit gambling skills. There are skills that work in very specific positions, such as Ryan's, which only activates in 6th. You can't control this, so it can be considered random. Some skills trigger at an event, such as Wetting My Nose, which activates when you pass an Uma. If this happens late, you'll get acceleration. Some skills don't look like gambling skills, but actually can be. Let's look at Marzemski's unique. It requires you to be 5th or better on the final corner. So it won't do anything here because the final corner starts too early. Right? This is a passing unique in disguise. Late surgers won't usually be 5th when the final corner starts. But if they pass into 5th later, they can trigger the unique later and get acceleration from it. The emulator doesn't simulate this, so it never happens here. I messed with the data to get this visual. By stacking gambling skills, you increase the chance that at least one of them does something. And if your gambling fails and none of them work, well, you still have 2 other Umas. Sometimes the gambler will be really strong. Sometimes they'll do almost nothing. Other styles do have their own gambling skills, but they usually prefer to rely on their consistent ones, especially on longer tracks, where the odds are worse. That's about it for gambling. For more information, read the ref doc.